Video conferencing emerged as a rhyme of history, a means for returning to that time when all communication was face-to-face. For education, it represents an opportunity to expand student access to a variety of speakers and increase content. In a statewide effort to increase 21st century skills, Idaho has made increased bandwidth and improved technology available to a district that several years ago explored the possibilities of video conferencing, Jerome School District. Chris Gibson explains their first attempt at video conferencing several years ago.
The conferencing project started out as a consortium of 9 districts in southwest Idaho. The concept was to bridge the 9 districts together with what was then the top technology of frame relay, point-to-point frame relays. And the concept was to provide instruction from centralized content locations to schools that might not otherwise have that. The example everyone gives, if we're teaching Mandarin Chinese in one location, we might be able to push that kind of instruction.
Marshall McLuhan's tetratic model provides a way of analyzing any new technology. Every technology does 4 things and does them simultaneously. What does video conferencing enhance? It enhances distance communication. What does it retrieve? The communication with a variety of persons. What does it cause to be obsolete? Those recorded lessons by experts. Kathy Muscat, a high school teacher, shares her experience with the old video conferencing system and her hopes for the new video conferencing system.
I really enjoyed having students from outside of the district and working with a variety in that respect. The equipment at that time, the connectivity, ultimately brought the program to an end at that point. We had really strong tech support, but the equipment just wasn't quite there yet. It would keep breaking up. It would, the sound, the quality of the sound was just really abysmal, and we could never hear each other on either end. It made me realize that there's still that piece about getting the connectivity with students, because I had students in Glens Ferry, Idaho, as well as in Jerome, and my Glens Ferry kids were so thrilled when I would be able to come to Glens Ferry to actually meet with them, but I couldn't do that on a very regular basis because I also had other classes where I was expected to be in the classroom. So I liked it. I still think it's a big piece of the future, and just looking at the new equipment we've received, I think that will make a big difference.
And so thanks to the force of evolutionary technology, Jerome's video conferencing goes from students gathered around the monitor to student access to a much bigger screen, and something very kludgy looking to a sleek, easier to operate model for teachers. The fourth side of McLuhan's model provides for reflection or prediction about what will replace video conferencing. Jessica Yellen appeared like Princess Leia on CNN, but for educators, perhaps web conferencing is more accessible. Could web conferencing pose a wild card? It now has video and more collaborative tools. It is more flexible and efficient and can be provided at a lower cost. The tetratic model for web conferencing looks much like video conferencing, but by analyzing the social model, we're provided a different approach. What does web conferencing enhance? Communication and collaboration. What does it cause to be obsolete? The limitations of face-to-face communications. What does it retrieve? The ability to communicate with a variety of people. How does it change education? Becky and Carrie will share some of their experience with web conferencing.
Away from a lecture-based classroom where the students would see a teacher talking to them all the time to more student-centered, and the lessons have become very interactive where the students participate and learn from each other and from the teacher. And this helps student achievement because the students take ownership for their own learning, and also, they are in a, environment where they're comfortable, so that they don't have those outside influences to work with. They're really just working in their own setting, so they really they do their best work.
Conferencing every week, pretty much every day of the week. I'm a middle school math teacher, so on Tuesdays and Thursdays I teach online all day long with a group of kids. I teach 4 different classes. Every class has around 20 kids in it, so we have a lot of kids coming in and out. If I'm not teaching on Tuesdays and Thursdays, then I'm usually doing tutoring sessions one-on-one using web conferencing. So it gives me the chance to work with kids all over the state, all over the United States, and really I found I have kids all over the country who are able to join my class on a weekly basis in order to understand algebra. Like I said, just having the opportunity for these kids is really amazing. Within the last few weeks we've been doing our student-led conferences, which we really get to know the kids and the parents and get to know their stories. And I've had students who have opportunities all over the world. I have a skier who travels to compete, but yet she still gets to do education and gets to work with me on algebra on her days, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have kids who have disabilities who can't make it to a school. So this is a great opportunity for them to be able to work with kids their own age and also being pushed along in all of their math skills.
Fact Education. Greg W. Downey, the editor for eSchoolNews.com, recently coined the term convergent education and explained that this new species of education is emerging that artfully aggregates up-to-the-minute instructional technology, sophisticated pedagogy, robust and standards-based educational content, and web-based delivery.